Commander Olivia Wright smoothed her navy blue uniform for the 10th time in as many minutes. The great doors to the Galactic Council chambers appeared before her. They were carved from something that looked like marble, but glowed with an inner light that no earthly material could produce. Beyond these doors stood the 12 most powerful species in the known galaxy, and they were about to judge humanity. "Ready, Commander," Lieutenant Frank Miller asked, adjusting the diplomatic case containing Earth's formal petition. "As ready as she will ever be," Olivia responded. His voice remained firm despite the butterflies in his stomach. 50 years of faster-than-light travel have brought humanity to this moment. Earth needed recognition, trade rights, and protection under galactic law. The doors opened silently. Olivia led her small team into a vast circular chamber. 12 raised platforms formed a ring around them. On each platform sat representatives of the species that governed interstellar politics for thousands of years before humans even invented the wheel. "The human delegation from the planet designated Earth can now address the Council," announced a tall, slender being with skin like polished silver. Olivia stepped forward. "Honorable members of the Galactic Council, I bring you greetings from the United Earth. We came in search of recognition of our sovereign status and requested commercial rights within the Council space." A rumble that could only be described as laughter rippled through the chamber. The sound came from multiple species, some using vocal cords, others using vibrating membranes or telepathic projections of amusement. "The humans believe they are ready for the Council's recognition," said a massive creature covered in thick blue scales. Ambassador records identified him as the Draconian representative. How charming. They achieved only rudimentary faster-than-light travel, hurting a bird as if with rainbow feathers. Their ships are practically held together with duct tape and prayers. Olivia felt her face heat up, but she maintained her diplomatic smile. "While our technology may be young compared to the illustrious board members, humans learn quickly. We offer unique perspectives and resources." "Exclusive?" interrupted a being composed of swirling gases contained in a transparent exosuit. "We catalog more than 8,000 intelligent species. There is nothing unique about biteable mammals, with their limited lifespans and fragile bodies." The criticism continued for almost an hour. Each council member took turns pointing out human inadequacies. Their short lives, their aggressive tendencies, their technological backwardness, their biological limitations. The worst came from Archconsul Vexler, the Zelfarian representative. The tall, gray-skinned humanoid stood up and pointed his six-fingered hand directly at Olivia. "Let's be clear," Vexler said, his voice cold and precise. "You are barely evolved primates playing with toys you don't understand. The fact that you stumbled faster than the travel of light before destroying yourselves is nothing short of miraculous. But that doesn't qualify him to be a board member." Olivia stood her ground. "With respect, Archconsul, humanity has overcome great challenges throughout our history. We only ask for the same opportunity that has already been given to each of your species. And that opportunity will come," said the oldest member of the council, a small green being with morbid eyes. "Perhaps 1,000 years from now, when you have proven yourselves worthy, the vote will be swift and unanimous." Terra's petition was denied. Furthermore, human vessels would be restricted to their home system until the council decided otherwise. Olivia and her team were escorted out of the chambers. When the doors closed behind them, the Lieutenant T. Miller kicked the wall in frustration. "Those arrogant aliens treated us like children," he said. "Worse than children," said Dr. Susan Lopez, a xenobiologist on the team. "They treated us like pets." Olivia remained silent until they reached the ship. Once on board, she took off her formal diplomatic sash and looked out the window at the gleaming towers of Nexus Prime, the council capital. "Set course for Earth," she finally said. "The president needs to hear about this in person." As the small ship moved away from the station, Olivia watched the huge alien ships patrolling the area. Ships with technology centuries beyond Earth's current capabilities. "They won't last forever," she said calmly. "I promise you this." 10 years have passed since Commander Olivia Wright returned from the Galactic Council with Earth's rejection. 10 years that became known as the Years of Silence. To the outer galaxy, it appeared that humans had accepted their place in the cosmic order. Few alien traders visited the Sol system anymore. Those who did reported that the humans were polite but distant, focusing on their own affairs. The galaxy moved on, forgetting about the unimportant monkeys at the edge of explored space. But beneath Earth's tranquil surface, something remarkable was happening. Admiral Nathan Cole was in the massive underground facility beneath the Mariana Trench. Around him, thousands of engineers and scientists worked in intense activity. The Admiral's weathered face showed the tension of sleepless nights, but his eyes burned with determination. "How soon can we start full production?" he asked, studying the holographic display. Dr. Eleanor Martinez adjusted her glasses and pointed to various sections of the schematic. "We solve power regulation problems with shield generators. The prototypes are exceeding expectations. Give me 3 more months, and we can equip the first 50 ships." The Admiral nodded. Project Thunderbolt was humanity's response to galactic rejection. Not a single project, but hundreds working together. 10 years of reverse engineering alien technology from salvaged debris. 10 years of innovation beyond anything humanity had ever achieved. "What about weapons systems?" he asked. "Ready for testing," replied Dr. Martins. "We were able to improve the original designs. These are not copies of alien weapons. They are better." In another section of the facility, Colonel Alan Pierce led a team of military strategists. Wall-to-wall screens displayed thousands of battle records from various alien conflicts. Some footage was obtained legally through commercial partners. Other footage came from less official channels. "The Zeltherians rely heavily on overwhelming force," Colonel Pierce explained to his team. "They never faced an enemy that could match their firepower, so they became predictable. The Draconians, on the other hand, fight with more discipline, but their ships have a critical weakness in their propulsion systems." Day after day, the colonel studied each species, learning how they fought, and most importantly, how they could be defeated. On the dark side of Europa, Jupiter's ice-covered moon, shipyards were buzzing with activity. Hidden from the Preon's eyes, humanity's first advanced battle fleet took shape. These were not the clumsy ships that first ventured beyond the solar system. These ships incorporated technology that would shock the Galactic Council. Captain Sam Winters ran through the nearly completed U.S. Challenge. At 900 meters long, it was the largest warship ever built by man. But it wasn't the size that made it special. Gravity lances installed and calibrated. The Cap Iton reported Chief Engineer Kelly Daniels. "We can disable enemy ships without destroying them, as you requested." "Perfect," said Captain Winters. "The Council thinks we are barbarians. Let us show them that we can be merciful even in victory." Back on Earth, President Julia Bennett met with Ambassador Wright in the Oval Office. The former commander was promoted upon her return from Nexus Prime. "The Zeltherians are increasingly suspicious," said Ambassador Wright. "Their intelligence ships have been probing our outer system." "Defenses. Let them look," replied the president. "Our bait facilities are giving them exactly what they expect to see. A primitive species nursing its wounded pride. And when do we reveal the truth?" The president went to the window, looking at the night sky. The Nephilim battlecruiser squadron is scheduled to pass near Jupiter next month. According to our intelligence, they have attacked non-aligned species in that sector with impunity. If they follow the usual pattern, they will consider our research outpost an easy target. Ambassador Wright finished. "Yes," said the president with a dark smile. "And then you will discover how much humanity has changed." The years of silence were coming to an end, and the galaxy was not prepared for what came next. The research station near Jupiter's orbit was small but important. 20 scientists lived aboard, studying the unusual radiation patterns in that sector of space. They followed the rules set by the Galactic Council. Their ship had no weapons. They sent regular reports to Earth and kept themselves isolated. Dr. Peter Morgan was recording data when the station's sensors beeped. He looked up and felt his heart skip a beat. A huge ship appeared seemingly out of nowhere. Everything was black with red markings that resembled claw marks. "Nephilim warship detected," the station's computer announced in a calm voice. Peter pressed the emergency button. "All personnel to secure rooms immediately. This is not an exercise." The Nephilim were known throughout the galaxy as aggressive hunters. Tall and muscular, with 4 arms and reptilian features, they served as enforcers for the Galactic Council. But they often acted on their own, attacking weaker species for sport. The human ship heard a harsh voice over the communication system. "This is the Krex War Commander from the battle cruiser Blood Harvest. You are violating the Council's space restrictions. Dr. Lydia Chun, director of the station, opened a channel. This is Research Station Europe 7. We have permission from the Council for scientific studies in this region. Our paperwork is in order. The alien commander laughed. It was an ugly sound. Permission revoked. The Nephilim claim this territory now. Prepare to be approached. Those who resist will be killed. Those who submit will serve. The scientists looked at each other in horror. The Nephilim would attack regardless of the Council's rules. And help was a long way off. Or so they thought. Captain Sam Winters occupied the command chair of the U.S. Defiance, hidden behind Europa's shadow. For 10 years, humanity has prepared for this moment. The Nephilim ship has powered weapons, reported Lieutenant Emma Jones of the tactical station. They are targeting our research station. Captain Winters nodded. Exactly as expected. Launch fighters. Turn on all systems. It's time to introduce ourselves. U.S. Defiance came out from behind Europa. The ship was dark gray with minimal external lights. Its elegant design hid the power within. On the Nephilim ship, War Commander Krex received an urgent message from his sensor officer. Unknown ship approaching, said the confused officer. He's human, but our scanners can't penetrate his hull. Impossible, guys, or the commander. Human ships are primitive. Destroy it as a warning to scientists. The Nephilim battlecruiser fired its main weapons, red energy beams shooting towards the Defiance. Captain Winters remained calm. Shields. The energy beams hit an invisible barrier and dissipated harmlessly. Inside the Defiance, no one felt the slightest tremor. Return fire, Captain Winters ordered. Only disable your weapons and engines. The human ship fired blue pulses that struck with surgical precision. The weapons of the Nephilim cruisers went out. Their engines sputtered and died. War Commander Krex couldn't believe what he was seeing. Your powerful ship, disabled by humans. Impossible. Get our systems back online. He roared. We can't, replied his engineer. They use some kind of technology we've never seen before. Captain Winters has opened a communication channel. Nephilim ship. This is Captain Sam Winters of the United Earth ship Defiance. His ship was disabled, but not destroyed. We could have eliminated you, but that is not our way. The Nephilim commander's face appeared on the screen, his 4 eyes blinking in shock. As humans are primitive, the Council said. The advice was wrong, interrupted Captain Winters. You will free our research station. Then you will return to your territory with a message. The Earth is no longer defenseless. The next aggressor will receive no such mercy. The disabled Nephilim ship was allowed to limp away. The research station has been saved. Within hours, the U.S. Challenger disappeared back to its hidden base. But the message was delivered. Through subspace communications, news began to spread. The humans had technology that could defeat a Nephilim battlecruiser. The impossible had happened. The Galactic Council has called an emergency session. The Galactic Council chamber buzzed with nervous energy. Representatives of all 12 species spoke in low voices. The Nephilim delegates stood before them. His pride was visibly hurt. The human recipient disabled the blood draw within seconds, he admitted. Our weapons had no effect on the shields. Impossible, said Archconsul Vexler of the Zeltherians. Maybe his crew was incompetent. My warriors are the best in the quadrant. The Nephilim growled. Humans have developed technology beyond what we believe possible. A ship does not make them a threat, the Draconian representative said. It was probably a fluke. The debate could have continued, but an aide ran into the chamber. Urgent transmission, he announced. It is being broadcast on all frequencies throughout the municipal space. The main screen activated. The image showed Earth's orbit full of ships. Not the manned ships of 10 years ago, but elegant warships with designs that caught the attention of even the most advanced council members. Admiral Nathan Cole was on the bridge of the flagship U.S. Sentinel. His uniform was impeccable, his expression confident. Greetings to all worlds receiving this transmission. I'm Admiral Nathan Cole of United Earth Space Command. For 10 years, we respected the board's decision to confine us to our system. During this time, we were not idle. The camera moved to show 50 warships in perfect formation. They moved in unison, demonstrating a precision that indicated extensive training. Today, we announce our presence as a sovereign power in this galaxy. We seek not even conquest, but rather conflict, but we will defend ourselves and our interests. The broadcast changed to show Dr. Elmer Martinez in a laboratory. She stood next to a device that hummed with blue energy. This is our gravity lance technology, she explained. Can disable enemy ships without undoing. Unlike some species, we prefer not to kill when unnecessary. The council members watched in stunned silence as the human ships demonstrated weapons and defenses that matched or exceeded their own capabilities. Technology that should have taken centuries to develop. How did they advance so quickly? The Eldar representative asked aloud. They must have stolen the drawings. Vexler insisted. The transmission returned to Admiral Cole. Within the hour, the diplomatic ship will arrive at Nexus Prime. Our ambassador will present Earth's terms for peaceful coexistence. We trust that the Council will receive it with the respect due to its peers. The transmission has ended. The Council erupted into chaos. We cannot allow this, shouted Vexler. These humans were nothing a decade ago. If we recognize them now, all the lesser species will think they can challenge the Council's authority. But if their technology is as advanced as it seems, said the Nebulan gas representative, we may have no choice. We have a choice, Vexler said, his voice cold. We crush them now, before they get stronger. The Galactic Council took a voting decision. 7 species voted in favor of diplomatic engagement. 2 abstained. 3, the Zaltherians, the Nephilim, and the Draconians, voted for immediate military action. Ambassador Olivia Wright arrived exactly 1 hour later as promised. Their small ship was escorted by 2 human warships that had positioned themselves near the Council station. Their presence was both protection and declaration. She entered the Council chamber with her head held high, so different from her last visit. The same representatives who mocked humanity now looked at it with wary eyes. Distinguished Council members, she began. Erdfo offers a simple arrangement. We will respect established borders and laws. In return, we expect the same courtesy. We seek trade, cultural exchange, and, eventually, a seat on this council. Vexler stood up, and if we refuse, Ambassador Wright met his gaze calmly. Then we will establish our own alliances with like-minded species. The galaxy is changing, Archconsul. The board may change with this or be left behind. The Zaltherian's face darkened with rage. This is a threat. No, Wright responded. It is an invitation to a new era. The choice is yours. While the council debated, Vexler escaped to send a private transmission to the Zaltherian fleet. Diplomacy failed. Now was the time to act. Earth's lunar colony shone under the stars. 60,000 people lived and worked in the dome-shaped cities built on the surface of the moon. They were scientists, engineers, and families who made the satellite their home. None of them expected an attack. Not so soon. Not so suddenly. Alarms sounded throughout Lunar City 1. The emergency lights flashed red. Several ships emerging from hyperspace announced the colony's defense officer. Zaltherian signatures confirmed. Governor Howard Clark watched the screens with growing dread. 20 Zaltherian warships approached. Your weapon systems are hot. This is Commander Drez of the Zaltherian Empire. Came a harsh voice over the communication system. Your illegal military buildup threatens galactic security. Surrender your colony or face destruction. The governor looked at his team. They had practiced drills for this scenario, but facing real alien warships was scary. Activate the defense network, ordered the governor, and send the emergency signal to Earth. But sir, our defenses can't stop so many ships. His security chief protested. Maybe not. The governor responded. But we don't need to stop them. We just need to slow them down. The Lunar Defense Network has been activated. Invisible to the IU, a web of energy surrounded the moon. It wasn't meant for a prolonged battle, but it would buy precious time. The Zaltherian ships fired. Energy beams hit the defensive shield. The colony trembled, but resisted. Commander Drez frowned. Their intelligence suggested that the lunar colony was poorly defended. Increase the power to rout the batteries, he ordered. Break through their shields. Back on Earth, Colonel Alan Pierce received the emergency signal. Within minutes, he was in the war room with Admiral Cole and President Bennett. The Zaltherians attacked the moon, Pierce reported. The defense network is holding up for now, but it won't last long against so many ships. Admiral Cole mounted grimly. This is what we prepared for. Accounting for the launch operation. Throughout the solar system, hidden human ships have activated. Military bases that had remained camouflaged for years were revealed. Earth's entire defense network went online. Lieutenant Ryan Blackwood and his tactical team boarded their stealth ship. The unit was made up of 12 soldiers specially trained for space combat. Their mission was the most dangerous. Infiltrate the Zalthirian command ship while the main fleet engages the enemy. Remember, Lieutenant Blackwood told his team, "We are looking for information, not revenge. Go in, download the computer core, and exit." On the moon, shields began to fail. The colonists retreated to underground bunkers, praying that help would arrive in time. Shield integrity at 20%, reported defense official. Imminent violation. Commander Drace smiled in satisfaction. Prepare landing parties. Take prisoners for interrogation about human military capabilities. But before the shields failed completely, new signals appeared on the Zalthirian scanners. Commander, multiple ships approaching at high speed. 6 human warships emerged from Earth's shadow, moving faster than any ship the Zalthirians had ever encountered. Ahead of him flew the U.S. Challenge, with Captain Sam Winters in command. "This is Captain Winters speaking to all Zalthirian ships. You are involved in an unprovoked attack against a civilian colony. Cease fire immediately or face the consequences." Commander Drace laughed. 6 ships against 20. Your bravery is admirable, but foolishly human. Perhaps, replied Captain Winters. But technology trumps numbers. The human ships launched their attack. Unlike the Zalthirians, who relied on overwhelming firepower, Earth ships used precision and speed. They darted between the larger alien ships, firing gravitational lances that disabled engines and weapon systems. Lieutenant Blackwood's stealth ship slipped through the chaos undetected. They attached themselves to the hull of the Zalthirian command ship and fought their way inside. Within 30 minutes, 15 Zalthirian ships drifted helplessly. 3 retreated. 2 were destroyed when their captains chose to overload their cores rather than be captured. As Lieutenant Blackwood's team downloaded vital information from the Zalthirian computers, they discovered something frightening. Detailed plans for a campaign of genocide against humans. The Zalthirians didn't just want to contain Earth. They wanted to eliminate humans entirely. The human ships withdrew after neutralizing the threat, leaving the Zalthirian ships disabled to be picked up by their own rescue ships. The message was clear. Humans could have destroyed them all, but they chose mercy. The first battle is over. The war was just beginning. The Galactic Council chambers were no longer a place of order and dignity. The representatives shouted at each other. Some demanded action against the Zalthirians for their unauthorized attack. Others called for sanctions against Earth due to its military development. The unity that had held the galaxy together for thousands of years was crumbling. Ambassador Olivia Wright stood in the center, waiting for the chaos to subside. In her hands, she held a data crystal containing the evidence recovered by Lieutenant Blackwood's team. "Dear representatives," she said when the noise finally died down, "I present evidence that the Zalthirian Empire has been planning genocide against humanity for years." She inserted the crystal into the Council's main computer. Images appeared on the big screen. Detailed plans for the systematic extermination of humans across the galaxy. These documents were recovered from the command ship that led the attack on our lunar colony, she explained. They have proven that Archconsul Vexler has been deceiving this council for years. The Zalthirian representative stood up angrily. "This is manufactured. Humans are masters of deception. The data contains authentication codes that can be verified by any member of the board." Ambassador Wright responded calmly. "We invite an independent examination." The council was divided into 3 distinct groups. The radicals, led by the Zalthirians, demanded immediate action to contain the human threat. Pragmatists recognized the strength of humanity and sought alliances. Neutrals feared involvement in what could become a devastating war. Grand Elder Xylos of the Elders, the oldest species on the council, has requested a private meeting with a human representative. Dr. Eleanor Martinez was sent to find him in the ancient gardens of Nexus Prime. The small, green-skinned elder studied Dr. Martinez with a normality that witnessed millennia of galactic history. "In all my years," he said softly, "I have never seen a species advance so quickly. It defies all evolutionary standards." Dr. Martinez smiled. "We have always been underestimated. When the Council rejected us, it only made us more determined. You created in 10 years what takes most species centuries." Xylos noted, "His adaptability is unique." "Necessity drives innovation," she responded. "When faced with extinction, humans become extraordinarily creative. The older man nodded angrily. Zalthirians fear this quality in their species. They prefer predictable enemies. You are anything but predictable. While this conversation was taking place, the council held a tense vote on whether to declare war on Earth. The evidence of Zalthirian genocide plans shocked many representatives. The vote was close. 7 against the war, 5 in favor of the war. Archconsul Vexillor stormed out of the chambers. The council became weak and cowardly. He hissed at his aides. If they do not act, the Zalthirian Empire will protect the galaxy from this human infection alone. On Earth, President Bennett greeted news of the council's vote with relief, but not celebration. They rejected war for now, she told her advisors. But Vexillor won't give up so easily. Admiral Cole nodded. Intelligence reports indicate that the Zalthirians are organizing their fleet. They summoned ships from all their colonies. How many ships are we talking about? Asked the president. At least 200 warships, Colonel Pierce replied. They are preparing for a big offensive. Then we must be ready, said the president. Deploy the fleet in accordance with Operation Reckoning, Phase 2. Throughout human-controlled space, warships took up defensive positions. The U.S. Challenge and 5 other advanced vessels positioned themselves near Proxima Centauri, the closest star system to Earth. Captain Winters knew they would likely face the first wave of any Zalthirian attack. On the diplomatic front, the Ambassador Wright continued to meet with individual members of the Council. Several smaller species, impressed by humanity's restraint during the lunar battle, expressed interest in mutual defense agreements. The galaxy was realigning itself, with humanity emerging as a significant power almost overnight. No one realized that Vexillor's plans were far more insidious than a direct attack on Earth. The Zalthirians were preparing to attack neutral Council worlds and blame humanity for their destruction. The peaceful Eldar colony world of Serenity burned. Zalthirian warships bombarded their cities from orbit, their weapons showing no mercy. Similar attacks occurred simultaneously on 5 other neutral worlds. Millions of innocent beings died in the first hour alone. Send the distress signal, ordered the Eldar governor as his palace crumbled around him. Tell them they are the humans. What the governor didn't know was that his communications officer was dead, murdered by a Zalthirian agent who had infiltrated the colony months ago. The real distress signal that was emitted throughout the galaxy told the truth. The Zalthirians were attacking neutral worlds without provocation. On Earth, emergency alarms woke Admiral Cole from a rare moment of sleep. Sir, we are receiving requests for help from several Council worlds, reported your assistants. The Zalthirians are attacking civilian targets in neutral sectors. The Admiral was instantly fully alert. Are there any human ships in these areas? No, sir. Our fleet is still in defensive positions in our sector. Admiral Cole rushed to the war room where President Bennett and his cabinet were already gathered. The large screen showed a map of the galaxy with red dots indicating attack locations. They are targeting Council members who voted against war with us, Colonel Pierce noted, trying to eliminate the voices of reason. President Bennett's face was grim. If we do nothing, these civilizations will be wiped out. If we intervene, we risk an all-out galactic war. The room fell silent. The decision weighed heavily on everyone present. We didn't build this fleet just to protect ourselves. Advertisement Myral Cole finally said, if we stand by while innocents are slaughtered, we will be no better than the Zalthirians. The president nodded. Deploy all available ships. Operation Reckoning is now in full force. Across the solar system, the full military might of humanity was revealed. 120 warships emerged from hidden bases and shipyards. They formed battle groups and jumped to speeds exceeding the speed of light, rushing to help the worlds under attack. Captain Lisa Rodriguez commanded the aircraft carrier U.S. Thunderchild. His ship led a group of 15 ships towards the Eldar homeworld. It's time to hit the target, she asked her navigation officer. 20 minutes at full speed, Captain. Captain Rodriguez studied the tactical display. The Eldar homeworld was surrounded by 30 Zalthirian ships. The beautiful crystal cities that had existed for thousands of years were being systematically destroyed. Launch all fighters as soon as we leave FTL, she ordered. The priority is civil evacuation. When the human fleet arrived, they found chaos. The Zalthirians, not expecting interference, spread out their forces to attack multiple targets. This gave humanity's smaller fleet a tactical advantage. U.S. Thunderchild fighters advanced, providing cover for the evacuation ships. Meanwhile, the main fleet engaged the Zalthirian warships with precise and coordinated attacks. Admiral Cole's innovative three-dimensional battle tactics confused enemy forces. The Zalthirians were used to fighting in traditional formations. The human ships attacked from all angles, using the gravity of nearby planets and moons to perform maneuvers that seemed to defy physics. On Nexus Prime, the Galactic Council watched in amazement as human forces arrived to defend worlds that were not their allies. The tactical display showed human ships evacuating civilians before engaging enemy ships. They fight to protect others, not just themselves. Observe Grand Elder Velos. This is not the behavior of conquerors. Lieutenant Blackwood and his Special Forces team crash-landed on the surface of Nexus Prime. The Zalthirians launched a ground attack on the Council headquarters itself. The human soldiers fought their way through the city, extracting Council representatives who were trapped when the attack began. "Why are you helping us?" asked an injured Nebulan deputy as Blackwood carried him to safety. "Many of us voted against your kind." "Because that's what humans do," Blackwood replied simply. "We help those in need, even if they are not our friends." Above the Council world, the massive Zalthirian flagship, Eternal Dominion, appeared. On its bridge stood Archconsul Vexler himself, determined to destroy the Council and blame humanity for its downfall. But waiting for him was the U.S. challenge. Captain San Winters predicted this change. The two most advanced ships in the galaxy clashed, preparing for a battle that would determine the future of interstellar civilization. The battle for Nexus Prime lasted 3 days. 3 days of desperate fighting in space and on the ground. 3 days that would reshape galactic history forever. The U.S. challenge and the Zalthirian flagship, Eternal Dominion, circled each other like ancient warriors. Each ship represented the pinnacle of its civilization's technology. "Target your weapons systems," Captain San Winters ordered. "Deactivate, do not destroy." "Sir, they're turning on something big," his tactical officer reported. "Power readings off the charts." The Eternal Domain fired a beam of pure energy that cut through space itself. The challenge barely managed to dodge. "They are targeting the Council chambers," the horrified officer said. "If that happens," Captain Winters made a split-second decision. "Interception course. Full power to forward shields." The U.S. challenge moved between the Zalthirian ship and the planet below. The next energy beam directly hit the human container. The ship closed violently. "Shields is at 20%, the engineer reported. "We cannot accept a year like this." "We won't need to," Winters replied. "Run the Phoenix protocol." Throughout the human fleet, a coded message spread. The ships stopped their individual battles and converged on Nexus Prime. They formed a perfect sphere around the Eternal Domain, each ship linking its shields to the others. On the Zalthirian flagship, Archconsul Vexler watched in confusion. "What are they doing?" He demanded to destroy them all. Their weapons officer fired desperately, but the human ships held position. Their interlocking shields created an impenetrable barrier. Lieutenant Ryan Blackwood and his team completed their mission on the surface. The Council members were safe. Now they had one final task. His stealth ship docked in the Eternal Domain, undetected in the chaos of battle. "Remember," Blackwood told his team, "we want Vexler alive to answer for his crimes." They fought their way to the bridge against the elite Zalthirian guards. Not all of the human soldiers survived, but they advanced with grim determination. When they finally reached the bridge, Archconsul Vexler was waiting, energy weapon in hand. "You primitives think you've won," he growled. "Even if I fall, others will rise. Humanity will never be accepted in this galaxy, Sia." "Perhaps," Lieutenant Blackwood replied. "But we'll keep trying anyway." The final battle was brief. Vexler fought fiercely but was eventually captured. The Eternal Domain, leaderless, surrendered to the human fleet. 3 weeks later, a new session of the Galactic Council was convened. The chamber had been rebuilt, more beautiful than before. Representatives of all species gathered. But this time, a new seat was added to the circle. Ambassador Olivia Wright took her place as humanity's first council member. The same aliens who had previously laughed at her now regarded her with respect and, in some cases, friendship. Grand Elder Xylos spoke first. "For thousands of years, this council has guided the galaxy. Today, we recognize our failure. We have allowed prejudice and fear to blind us to the potential of a new species. The Zaltherian Empire faced justice for its crimes. Archconsul Vexler and his commanders were tried and imprisoned. His empire was placed under council supervision. His armed forces were dismantled. A new galactic charter was drawn up, with Ambassador Wright leading the committee. The document emphasized cooperation, mutual defense, and technological exchange between all species. Admiral Nathan Cole established an interspecies military academy in Yoruba. Officers from across the galaxy learned from each other and built trust. Dr. Eleanor Martinez led a scientific exchange program that brought together the brightest minds from dozens of worlds. Together, they began solving problems affecting multiple species, from curing diseases to developing cleaner energy sources. Above the entrance to the council chambers, a new inscription was carved into the tongues of all member species. Strength does not fly in superiority, but in unity and understanding. Captain San Winters has been given a new command, the U.S. Harmony, the first ship built jointly by humans and other council races. His crew included members of 8 different species, working together as equals. As the Harmony prepared for its maiden voyage to explore unknown space, Captain Winters looked at his diverse crew on the bridge and smiled. "Not bad for a species of barely evolved primates," he said, remembering the insult from 10 years ago. His Eldar navigation officer tilted her head curiously. "I don't understand, Captain." "Just an old joke," Winters replied. "Set the course for the unknown. Let's see what we can discover together." The ship leapt to speeds faster than light, carrying with it the hope of a new era of galactic peace. An era where no species would exist,